structure tells me to. So, like, for example, I think a lot of you guys do this really, really badly, and I think it just doesn't make a lot of sense. If I take this trade, right, let's just say theoretically, this is 8.59 points, right? Like, this means that I would be risking 5 micros, because you don't want to go off, I trade this many micros. You want to go, I risk this much money, and then I make sure that I trade the amount of micros that are necessary to risk that amount. This is, like, so fucking important, and people do not do this, and it is absolutely insane to me. But like, if instead of looking at it like that, right? Because I could take this trade, but then theoretically I could take, like, the next day I could take, like, a trade that looked like, I don't know, something slightly different. Let's say I took this long here, you know. I mean, that's 20 points versus 8. If I go in with like 3 micros, or set amount of micros for each position, this position is going to be $100 of risk, right? If I went in with 3, this position would be $60 of risk, and this position would be $120 of risk. Whereas if you just go, okay, cool, I'm going to go in with this trade with 2 to 3 micros, because that will mean that my risk is like 80 to 120. And then in this one, I'm going to go in with 5, because that will make it so it's like 100. Those two amounts are basically the same. Whereas people don't do that. They just have a set amount of micros, and that is just not, in my opinion, in any way the way you should trade. Because you can't manage your risk. You literally can't even come close to managing your risk. You can't manage your risk at all. Like, you can manage your risk to an extent, but you can't get precision. Like, people go on minis and stuff. Like, you know, with a mini, like, there can be times where I'm trading positions that's 30, 40 points, and the other time where it's like 10, 15 points. Well, if I'm trading minis, that means like one time when I win it, I make like 300. The other time I make like 800 in terms of loss. Sorry, I lose that, and then when I win, the risk to reward is fucked up. Like, the risk to reward is cooked, because the risk to reward doesn't matter. Risk to reward only matters. I mean, this is like real talk. Risk to reward only matters if you are trading the same amount of risk every single trade, or very close. That's the only time it matters. Risk to reward is relevant, obviously, but like, in terms of a systemized approach, and in terms of having, like, using risk to reward to kind of carry, in quotation mark, your system, like, that's only relevant, not carry, but you know what I mean, right? Like, if you have a system that, you know, plays out over time, and, like, you know, you'll make, you know, XYZ RR on the month or on the year, like, that's only relevant if you're actually managing your risk really well. And that's how you need to do it, is using the micros. It's just so that, for example, in this position, like, if I wanted to risk $100 on this position, I would be trading probably 3 micros, and on this position, I would probably be running 5 to 6, because that's the same amount. Like, let's say these are the 2 trades that I would take. That's the same amount of loss if I lose. If I lose, it's the same amount, or very close, within $20 of each other. How often do I scale out? Never. How often do I scale in? Every single time, if I'm with the trend. If I'm with the trend, I'll always scale in. But then if I'm trading against the trend and I'm, like, aware of that, cognizant of that stuff, I don't scale in. I'll take profit quite quickly, actually. Like today when I went short. And I was like, yeah, I'm just trying to trend trading at this point. And those are the times where I'll go, okay, cool, I'm just going to take profit. If I'm just trailing with the trend, always scaling and always trailing. I'm not looking for shit, bro. It's got 20 minutes before the market closes. I'm not looking to do anything. I'm finished. I was finished hours ago. I went back to sleep. I just slept for like 3 hours. My eye looks weird. Lol. How many points are your wins usually? I don't go off points. I go off risk to reward. So I don't know. There's times where there could be a 10, 3-to-1 risk to reward that's 45 points, and there's times where a 3-to-1 risk to reward would be 100. It doesn't really matter. I wouldn't worry about points too much. I'd worry far more about risk to reward and using what I just explained to you guys with the dynamic micro positioning to actually allow it so that it doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter. Points don't matter. All that matters is a lot. But negative in terms of what? Negative in terms of like the trade goes into drawdown, or in terms of negative my P&L goes down. Like if there's an iTunes, I take a loss. Just clarify that question. Drawdown? Like as in like realized drawdown? Or as in like just the trade just goes into drawdown? If you're just talking about like the trade goes into drawdown, I mean like pretty much every trade. I mean obviously like I think everyone goes into drawdown. Unrealized, yeah, like all the time. Yeah, all the time. Like it doesn't matter. Like it's like the amount of trades that I've won that have become massive banger winner trades, and they've been clipped almost my stop loss, but then they just reverse, is a lot. And that's okay. You just have to accept it. Like it just doesn't matter. Like once that risk's on, that's good. You actually want it to be like that. You actually want it to be where now I know, because the thing is with trading and in general, you don't have any certainty with any of this. You really don't know what's going to happen in the market. You don't know what's going to happen in the position. You don't know what's going to happen in general. But if you have a stop loss, you do know that for certain. You do know that when that hits that thing, that you lose a certain amount of money, which is really, really good. I think a lot of people don't think that way. Having a fixed amount of loss, I can only really lose this amount in this trade. This is great. We're managing our risk. We have this 100% chance that if it hits that point, we only lose that amount. That's really, really good. In a world of uncertainty, certainty is a win, you know, because like trading is uncertain. You can have like the most A+ God tier setup and take it and lose. That doesn't, just because it's amazing setup doesn't mean you're always going to win. What you can always make sure of is that you lose a certain amount of money, no matter what, which is really, really good. That's a good thing. If you can make sure you have a certain amount of loss on the day and a certain amount of loss on a trade idea, that's great. That's 100% what you want. You don't want to be, you know, having these days where, because having days like that, like will produce results like this, where you know that you can only you have a certain amount of loss on the day. So if you know you can only lose like $100 per trade, and you know you can only lose $200 on the day because you have 2 losses on the day, that's what produces results like this equity curve, that your trading calendar looks like this, because you know you can't lose more than a certain amount, but you can make infinite. Well, not infinite, but you can make like this, where it's like almost an 11-hour trade, you know, 6-hour trade, 7-hour trade. I think these were 2 separate trades, but you know, but you know, if we have, you can see here, we know that, you know, the max I can only lose is 200. The max I can, you know, max I can lose. So you have that certainty. You know, that's certain. Whereas the upside of all these trades is not certain. The upside is infinite, theoretically. Not actually, but you know what I mean. Like very high, you know. Do I move my stop loss sometimes if it's too close? And I do, and I will tell you, the only times I've done it, I've resulted, well, not the only times, but the couple times I have done it, and that handful of times I've moved my stop loss, it has resulted in nothing but misfortune, me losing accounts and me doing stupid shit. You want that certainty. You want it. You want it. The only thing that's stopping you from not wanting it is your brain telling you it's bad, where it's not. Losing is great. Losing is as good as winning. I know that sounds retarded, like it's stupid, but like it is as good as winning. Because at least you have a fixed amount of loss. You can go, I can lose this $100 or this $200. Like I know that I can lose it. I'm putting risk into the market to try and make money. But like I'm risking this amount. I am risking this amount. This is how much I am willing to lose on this position. And if it goes to my take profit, or it goes to my area, or whatever, or I manage it and then I make money, then that's great. But losing is fine. Losing is 100% fine. You have to get good at losing. Like I think that's a number one skill that I think every single trader would become infinitely better if they could get better at. Is just being like, I'm going to become a good loser. Instead of becoming a good winner and trying to make money, start focusing on becoming a good loser. Become a good loser. The better you get at losing, the better you'll become at winning. That is 100% factual. That is not even my opinion. I think it's just a straight up fact. The more you can become, and it's just like a humbling experience. You just have to be like, okay, like I'm gonna be wrong. Like, and I think that like that's why I always like when I see arrogant traders, I'm always like people on like the internet and stuff, and they're like kind of cunty. and like a little bit of a dick. I'm always like, yeah, I just don't believe you trade, because it's like, if you're actually in the trenches, like I'm talking like really in the trenches, not, social media marketer, trying to sell you shit. If you're actually in the trenches, really trying to get good at trading, you become a humble person by default. You have to, because if you can't, you will lose. You won't be able to accept the losses. You'll chase the market. You'll XYZ, do all these emotional things. Where if you're a humble person, you can be like, I can accept that I'm wrong. Like me, like I'm not trying to blow my own horn, but like me on Friday, completely wrong about bias, completely wrong about everything, and I just didn't care. But I just like, yeah, I was wrong. I was just wrong. Man, I talked about it at length. Where I'm like, I was just wrong, and that's okay. Because I don't care, because I always just link myself back to what I just said to you guys there, where if you harbor yourself in this, you always go, it doesn't matter, as long as I'm just trading, we're chilling, we're vibing, we're trading. Over the long term, I know I'll make money. Who cares? It doesn't really matter if you lose. Losing is fine. Yeah, it's pretty good. I stopped doing this, but yeah, this was a pretty insane run. This is like one of my biggest months ever. This was 92R. November was I think November was the only one that was bigger. This was 92R. Yeah, pretty fucked. Pretty crazy. But you can see, risking $100 to make 2,500. Like there's a whole lot of banger trades in here. It's like this was just a really big month, but I still had losses, right? Like imagine if I crashed out on these days, guys. Like, that's what I always say. Like with this strategy, which is why I like it, because it makes you a lot more chill. Like imagine if I crashed out on days where I just had some losses, bro. Had a couple losses, bro. It's not that deep, Imagine if I crashed out on these days and lost my accounts, and did crazy shit and full ported them instead of just being like, oh, I'm just gonna chill. Same number in days. Yeah, because I already have 2 losses. The reason why these are all 200, right? You see 200, 200, 200, 200, 100, 100. Because I risk $100, or I risk $200 if I have 2 trades. I think some of these are 3 because I would break even. I would go break even and then have 2 losses or something, or go have a loss, have a break even, and then have a loss. But yeah, this is my opinion is a case study on good trading. As long as you can basically go, this is a very, very, very condensed and very elementary statement on trading systems. But if you can make it so that you eliminate big blow up losing days, and you let your winners run, you will start to trade and have P&Ls that look like this. And don't take my word for it. Ask Ben. Ben has made $25,000 since he joined the Discord, and he just pretty much exactly what I just said, which is you just have small losses on the days, right? You just have little tiny losing days, but if you know that your system can have massive monster winning days, or just your winning days are slightly bigger than your losing days, then basically all you're saying is I will always only have small losing days, small winning days, and big winning days. If I can do that and then risk small, I will always make money. Basically always make money. If you can just think like that instead of thinking, oh shit, I had 2 losses on the day, I'm gonna crash out, that's not it. That's not it. If you can just always go, eliminate my big losing days, because if you guys think about it, right, think about the vast majority of people here. When are the times have you guys ever actually bled out equity on an account? Very few people have actually bled out equity on an account. To the point where they've lost their account. Most people, it's because they full port, revenge trade, start over leveraging, do all these things, and that's how they lose their accounts. They don't lose their accounts because they necessarily just straight up lost the account from trading. They generally do it from something that isn't their system. That's how they lose their account or lose their accounts. I'm not sure if any of you guys can resonate with that. Maybe you guys have lost accounts from just straight up losing trades and shit. But I haven't actually heard of any that actually happens too. Every single time I've lost my account, for example, is from... Yeah, it's always from impulsive decisions. It's always... So if we go, okay, I can do really well trading, but then these little things happen, I do impulsive bullshit, then... why don't we just eliminate that and find ways to manage that? Like, why don't you start trying to do that instead of trying to, you know, worry about anything that isn't there? Because most of the time it isn't system. I just think it's the pilot, the person behind it. Sorry, I'm just checking my laptop in charge. Yeah, 1 second. I would look for breakouts. Yeah, I mean but you can trade differently from me, yeah. We don't have to trade the same. I also never have said to anyone that my strategy is like the best thing in the world. I just tell people that's how I trade. It's how I resonate with the market the most. Because I don't think my strategy is good. Do you know what I think was good about my trading? And people look at my trading and then try to emulate it, and then they're like, oh, I can't do this. I think it's my discipline. I think it's the fact that I can just chill. Like, I do just chill. Like, I'm so chill with my trading. Like, even today, bro, like, you know, just rock up and just be, like, okay making, you know, $3,000 on the day across my 7 accounts, or, like, $200. Let's say this was one account. You know, like, let's just say I had one account, one top account. Like, $200 is great. You know? Like, that's a great, that's a great trade, you know? You're like, yeah, cool. Like, I'll just walk away. Like, I just walk away. Like, it's, you know, if the market doesn't do exactly what I want it to do, I'm just going to go, I'll just walk away. Just chill. Just relax. Easy going, you know, like, don't have to. I'm just not caught up in the short term at all. Like, the short term to me doesn't matter, and that's where I think that my, like, edge as a trader comes. Whereas everyone's trying to have print big days, and I don't care. Like, if I have big days, that's great. If I don't, I don't. If I have losers, I have losers. Like, it's just you just need to detach from it, because it's all this worrying about these little things is what's making you do all these impulsive decisions, you know, and do crazy stuff. Do I scale into them? No, it's just that the reason today I was like, this is kind of trend, and like the one I took one break even, and in the winner that I took, I was just like, I just tightened my trail really hard, because I was like, I didn't have confidence in the position, you know, like it wasn't the best position. If you guys want like a checklist. Checklist is just basically, so there was a checklist, someone said that earlier. Do I ever use indicators except liquidity? I don't use any indicators, even liquidity indicators. So I'm just reading through it. 0 indicators. I used to, extensively, and then it's just as a noise, bro. Price action tells you everything you need to hear. Everything you need to know you can read in price action. An RSI, a EMA, all of this stuff, in my opinion, is just noise. It's all lagging as well. It's all lagging, and these lagging indicators are they lag. They're not off present information. The only indicator I would even consider using is Bookmap, because it isn't lagging. Not really. Well, it is kind of, but it actually shows you real market insights on like the actual volume of the market, you know, rather than like. So yeah, just like market structure, just price action, just pure price action. You don't need more than pure price action. You really don't. Just multi-time frame analysis plus price action, you're good to go. You're good to go. In my opinion, anyway. I think people try to both undercomplicate it and overcomplicate it. People try to make it too easy, and people try to make it like really, really hard to follow. And it's like there's just finding this like nice little sweet spot. You know? How many years am I in the market? I've been trading for 5 years, but I've been trading properly with a system for 3. So the first 2 years, I just made 2 mil from crypto, balled out of control, and just basically didn't do much. I just spent money for 2 years straight, which is just being real. And then I made a bad play, did some stupid shit, and I just thought I was kind of soft retired, where I would just be making a whole lot of money from crypto staking rewards for the rest of my life, which was just naive and kind of stupid. And then I lost a lot of that, had like 500k left, and then I used that to get good at trading, like real trading. Like I used to actually like a proper systemized approach, proper like good trading, rather than just like getting lucky with crypto. How did I get started? So a close friend of mine got me into a scammy crypto group, and I was already pretty I wouldn't call myself successful, but I was doing well. Like I'll give you guys context. Like I owned my own home at 27. I actually owned 2 homes. I had a real piece of piece of real estate, and I owned my own place. They were both like apartments. and I had like 100 grand saved up that I was going to get a third place. So I was just like a little hustler, right? Like I had like a master's degree. I was working in accounting. Like that's what I went to do. I'd also buy and sell sneakers, do like little side hustles, and I was always like hustling. I was always trying to make more money because at the time my main thing was like real estate. I just wanted to buy a fuckload of real estate. That's all I wanted to do. It's just work really hard, do little things, work in my accounting job, like work up to like become a partner, like make a fuckload of money in like a proper 9 to 5, like have little side hustles, use all that money in conjunction together to make more money in real estate. And then my grandma got sick, and who was only her only family member, so I had to leave the job and then get into internet money basically, because I was like fuck, because I had to like pretty much uproot my entire life, and then I had to do that, and then I looked after her, and then she got really sick and had to go into care. But I basically took 50k of that 100k cash that I was telling you about and basically just traded it. I got very lucky and turned it into like 2 mil. And then that 2 mil turned into like 500k. But I spent like a lot. I was making a lot of money from that 2 mil because I was like staking rewards that I was getting every day. So I was making like 10k a day from staking rewards. And I was just spending that on my life and just like doing crazy shit, and like buying nice stuff and traveling the world and stuff. So that was like 3 to 6 months of that. And then that coin that I was invested in went to shit. Rest in peace, me. And then I just really just went in the trenches for like 3 years. I was like, 3 years. But I got profitable really quickly because I was spending like 14 hours a day trading. Like I was like literally actually really locked in. Like it was like I have to make it because I got like super tattooed. You guys can see me. I didn't look like this 3 years ago. 4 years ago. Before I made a whole lot of money in crypto, I did not look like this. Like I just looked like a normal person. And I got like really tattooed, and I was like, "Fuck!" Like now I can't go back to my life, so I can't really go back to like a client-facing accounting, looking the way I do now, unfortunately. So I was kind of like, "Fuck it, we actually have to." I kind of did burn the boats by accident, and then I was like, "All right, well, it is time to get good." And then I just spent I had to. I was like, I didn't really know what I was going to do if I didn't, because it would have been really difficult to go back to that life, as in like impossible in my opinion. People tell me it's not, but I think they're being naive. It's like, if you're a big accounting firm, you're not going to hire someone who looks like me, even if I like had the, like the knowledge and like the credentials, but yeah, just not. But yeah, why stocks for freedom? No, I just wanted to make internet money. I just wanted to be able to make money from wherever I was. Like, I don't have any passion for trading. Like, even now, like, I think that's also why I am good at walking away, because I don't like trading. Like, I like trading, I just don't like being in positions. Like, I really don't like doing it. Like, I hate it. Like, I hate being in positions. I don't want to be in positions. I like to be out of the market. I'll make my money for the day. Like, today, as you can see on the screen, I'll make, like, fucking 3 grand, and then just, like, 2 hours, just walk away. I don't care. Like, I'm not going to keep chasing. Yeah, what's up?
How are we doing, bro? Hey, Matt. I really like the look of your trading style, yeah, because I'm getting a bit, the lower time scales are starting to fuck me over. But in a way where I'll get stopped out, for example, and then maybe it'll reverse, seconds later, but which is fine. It's just a bad position. It's not the market. The market's moving as it is. But I like the idea of your slower, higher time frame trades.
I don't trade high time frames.
Sorry, say that again.
I said I don't trade high time frames at all.
Oh, do you not?
No, man. I trade like the 30-second chart. I probably trade long time frames than you. You don't have to do that. I just used to trade really high times, but you can trade this strategy with any high time frame. Like I've traded this strategy on Forex with on the 4 hourly and daily. I've traded the 2 minute, but what I preach on my content is 100% low time frame. So it's 2 minute stuff. Most of the time I tell people to just trade the 2 minute. Yeah.
Is this the one where you wait for an engulfing candle?
Yeah.
Ah, right.
You're just using high time frame confluence. You're using high time frame context, but you're not trading in terms of execution on the high time frames. I mean, you can, but you definitely can. You can trade for this exact strategy, you can trade this exact strategy on Forex and just do swing trading with on the hourly. 100% works. I mean that we've got a bullish trend.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple to trade. It's pretty
So
simple.
how do you? Sorry, do you mind me asking how you get your zone that you're looking for the engulfing candle in?
For sure. So I just use order
Thank you.
blocks, right? So I just use these areas where the markets, So I look at a whole different time frames. I just look at where the market's moved before, and then try to construct a narrative from that. So for example, on the 4 hourly, I'll be like, okay, well the market's moved pretty aggressively from this area a whole lot, and we are bullish. So then I'll just scale down to the hourly and 30-minute and do the same thing. Find levels where the market moves in one way.
Yeah.
And then I also just use liquidity in conjunction with that. So if I see a liquidity sweep inside of a zone, and then on the smaller time frames I see a change in state of delivery or a change in character, whatever you want to call it, then I execute. But yeah, no, I trade low time frame, but I've done this on high time frames as well. I've traded this on the 4 hourly. I used to swing trade this one for proper forex pairs, and it works. It's just the same stuff. It's just I lost all my funding in forex, and then I just was like, fuck this shit. I go deal with the future space, because the future space has no bullshit. They're not gonna ban you or go broke, which is a lot of the firms I was working with just straight up went bankrupt. Owed me $28,000 in payouts. Oh, cool, dude, sweet.
Oh no, they went bust whilst owning you.
Yeah, me and my wife, we moved to Thailand, and within 3 weeks of us being there, I lost $1.3 million in prop firm funding. And I thought, obviously we went over there and we're okay, we're still good. We had stability, just straight up capital. We weren't broke. But we had, I just was okay, this is the business, this is the business we'll make money from, cash flow. This is what we'll be cash flowing from. It's Thailand, so it's dirt cheap. And I was cool. And then it was just all of it went. I had to completely learn how to trade lower time frames. It's just the same shit, but it's just different, right? Higher time frames way easier to trade, in my opinion. The higher time frame you guys go, the easier you guys are going to have experience wise with trading. In terms of it's going to be way easier to trade. Just less frequency, less everything.
Yeah. How do you sort of adjust to the current market conditions? And
what do you mean?
As in a volatile market.
If the market's volatile, that's good. It is
right,
good. Yeah. If the market, I do. I just have my entry model, guys, and I just trade that. Sometimes it looks a little different. Today, it was a little bit sometimes I'll take trades that maybe people would probably questionable, but and even I'm questionable. This trade especially was questionable, but this trade, I was I'll take this. This looks good, but most of the time, it all has the same model. It's all liquidity. It's all order blocks. It's all high time frame zones, and then I just let trade the things I let trades breathe a lot of the time. So a lot of people get really hung up on their trades, and I'll just wait. I'll just sit there, and if I have an idea, which in general the last couple of days I've just been wrong, has been on Friday and today was just this order block to get tested here, and it got invalidated today, so I'm not going to be trading it. But this daily order block, I just really wanted to see a nice push down. Even now, I'm it's still good. I just wanted this order block here. I just really want to see a nice push down, a big pivot push down, a higher time frame push, not a 2 hour, 3 hour win, a big push. Because I am bullish. I just don't believe. I would be surprised if we don't push through here. I just want to see this get tested. But this is just something that's the thing. I can be wrong. I can be wrong and still make money. On Friday and today, I'm still plus 2R. I'm still plus $3,000. I'm fine. Across all my accounts and everything. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's
what invalidates an order block?
I just use this one is invalidated, but this one, the reason why I was really bearish is because we did tap into it. You can see here, we tapped in here, and then we actually formed a new one. Well, we formed a new bearish engulfing on the daily, which is you know how much fucking liquidity this takes to actually produce this kind of big ass move over the day? It's quite a lot. So I was if we do come up, I just wanted to see how price action reacted, and I was just wrong, admittedly. It's okay. I don't mind being wrong, I'm humble enough to be I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But even here, this is decent. There's no real other entries through here. There's one here, potentially. This is shit as well, to be honest. There's just nothing that great. Except for even the trades I did take, I just kind of bid. And then But this is like probably like the best trade because you've actually got like the sweep. It's into like the actual daily. It's also sweeping high time frame liquidity here as well, which is really nice. So like this is daily liquidity. It swept it, and then that's how you get these big like 6R huge winners with because you can see right. Like this is a really good example. When the market sweeps low time frame liquidity, it doesn't really do much. But if you go into the daily, like this is daily. This is a daily order block, right? I think this is a daily daily liquidity. So like this right here, right at the tippy top here on the daily, right here, this liquidity. You guys see this? Do you guys see that?
Yeah.
So if you guys look at how like lower time frame liquidity reacts, and then look at how high time frame liquidity reacts. High time frame liquidity, like if that gets swept, there's so many fucking orders. It's what I was saying to you before. The higher time frame you get, the harder it is to move the market, and the more volatility at higher time frame zones there's going to be. So if we know this and we go, okay, well I know that there's going to be a lot more volatility at the higher time frame zones we get. If I know this, why not just try and execute on high time frame zones on low time frames, and then you get higher risk to reward because the volatility is there? Does that make sense? Because if you know there's going to be more volatility, yeah, you're going to lose, but you can only lose 1R. You can only ever lose 1R with these trades, guys. You literally can only ever lose $100 or $200 or whatever you risk. But like when there's high amounts of volatility, like today, you can make 6. This is just, I would have executed this on the 1 minute, but like, you know, like you can make 6. So if you know that all these high time frame zones, you can see this over and over again, it plays out. If you go to the daily, you look every single time, like liquidity down here. I remember in the Discord when I first made it, which was in October. In early November, like I called this trade because we were trading into this daily 4-hour liquidity inside this order block here. It swept it, and then you got 10R, you know. And you can just look, if you just go mark up daily liquidity, you know, you guys might just become profitable from that. You're just not going to trade a lot. You're just going to be like waiting around a lot. Like you might wait, you know, say that you had this liquidity marked out here, this liquidity marked out here, this liquidity, like all these wicks, and you just mark them all out, and then you just wait for structure to form, and then you just basically just go, well, whatever happens when that, like I'm going to have a model for these areas. You can see, like, I mean, that's one trade here where you could have just had like high time frame liquidity, like daily liquidity. You could mark that out, boom, that's 1. You know, like that's 2. You know, if we sweep this, there's another trade probably in there. Like, there's a whole lot of trades all through there because like these levels, if they get swept, do you know how many people are getting stopped out? It's not even getting stopped out, but do you just know how many people, how much liquidity and how much volatility is like this pocket down there? There's just so much because it's a daily. It's like pretty much the highest time frame you can go to, apart from the weekly. So like, of course, like when it hits those zones, it's gonna be fucking crazy. You know? How did I lose? I just like there was a lot of there's a lot of regulation that came through the CFD Forex.
The market is closed.
And then like a lot of them went bankrupt. They just couldn't pay people out. So I was just like, okay, cool, dude, cool story.
Do you still trade prop firms now?
Yeah. This is a prop firm right in front of you. It's just futures.
Oh yeah, of course, that's up. Yeah. That's it.
So take my next payout soon. 5K.
Nice, man.
Yeah. Almost on live. One more payout and we're on live, boys. Exciting. I go very slowly, but I copy trade. 5 accounts with Topstep, 1 account with Traderify, and my personal account right now. My current size is I risk $1,500 per trade. So if I make 2 hour, I make $3,000. If I make 1 hour, I make 1.5K. So I look at it risk. How much risk am I trading? Prop firm accounts doesn't matter because there's people who trade huge amounts of risk, but they're trading on 1 account. I'm very much like have like a low amount of risk on a whole lot of accounts so that you can just get more and more. My personal account is just really big right now though from all my payouts because I don't spend my payouts. I reinvest it back into my personal account so that I can risk more and more money to make more and more money and just use a TradeZinker because it's like
It's better to cycle through accounts as well, isn't it? For psychological reasons. So then one account's not taking.
Oh no, I trade everything linked, so I don't even cycle. I just
all connected.
Yeah, I just don't get psychological issues because I don't risk enough to have them.
Yeah.
I just don't straight up. Like, I mean, if you guys risked $100 every trade, you wouldn't have psychological issues. You wouldn't.
Well, to be honest, I trade 200 per account. They're 50Ks. So
exactly. And that's the same risk management as me. You're doing 5%. That's what you should be doing. And I've seen something about it. You guys can see on my story. There's a guy. He doesn't trade my strategy. He was over risking, trying to rush the process. He's gone into drawdown. He was down $2,000, I believe, on a 150K funded. There's like 3 of them or something. And then he said, what would I do? I said, risk 200. Risk 200 and stick to the process because you can't lose the accounts. You can just focus. And now he's got a payout. Got a payout today. 3 payouts across his 3 accounts, I think. So it's just lower risk is the key because it allows you to actually breathe, guys. You can actually chill and just like actually trade. A lot of you guys like trading so stressful. It's like, no, you guys make it very stressful. Make it stressful by trying to rush, trying to trade too much size, trying to be too crazy. Don't try to be crazy. Just trade 1 or 2 accounts. I trade $1 or $200. Sorry, not 1 or 2 accounts. Get a whole lot of accounts. If you want more size, just buy more accounts. It's not expensive to get. Well, it's relative, but it's not. It's not. It's not expensive relative to the upside. Like people ask me, "Oh, how'd you bounce back?" Or like, "Why?" You know, like when I lost my accounts in November, I lost like $42,000, 5 accounts, Top Step. They were like, like I had like literally $1,250 put aside to get all my accounts back. Because in my brain, I was like I can make so much money. It doesn't matter if you spend a little bit more money getting the accounts because they're like what I always say to people. Like these accounts are assets for 95% of people, 99% of people who are in this trading space. Like they don't have money. They're not like rich. They're not like wealthy. They're not like they're trying to change the situation. So view these accounts as assets. You guys are getting leverage. You guys have a lot of normal people have very few opportunities to get real leverage apart from like mortgages. Like that's it. And then if you go, okay, well let's view these accounts like they're assets and actually treat them as such. Respect the account. Don't full port it. You actually have something you can make money from forever. And it's like, if you risk $100, it might take you 2 months to get to the point where you're payout ready. But then you have that as a cash flowing engine forever, theoretically. And then it's just like, why are you so disrespectful to these accounts when like a lot of people are just normal people? And if I told you could make an extra $400 or $500 or $300 to $500 from one account, not even consistently, but even let's say it's bi-weekly, a lot of people are like, fuck yeah, bro, that's sick. I can make a little bit extra money. It doesn't have to be scaling out like me. It doesn't have to be making $1 bajillion and trying to push the envelope really hard and scale. It can just look like that. And that can be and then you have that one account and you're making a couple $100, maybe like $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a month from that one account from just risking very low $100. And then you like scale that process out. And then all of a sudden, like a year or two, you have like a thriving business and you're sitting here like me where I can literally wake up, trade, made $3,000, went back to sleep, But like if you don't go through that first part, and I went through that first part of just trading the one account. So why wouldn't you guys do that? But people don't do that. They just want to like rush it and like risk a whole lot and be crazy. And I'm just like, just take it slow. Like it's like, I always say like, people have made no money trading ever and they're shooting to make 10K a month. And I'm like, why don't you shoot to make $100 like in a payout or $200? Like, why don't you just shoot to make something from an actual process, not from gambling, but why don't you shoot to make that from a process that you can scale? Because that's how, I'm not going to, like, I don't want to go over it. Like, I feel like I talk about it every call, but like the only way you guys are getting to the dream life, trader lifestyle, having the freedom, having the, like the financial freedom and stuff like, I mean, I'm not even saying I'm there yet because I don't think I am, but I'm definitely like across my ecosystem of my life, pretty stable. But like, if you look at it from like just trading, it's like, the only way you're getting there is from a process that you can scale and a process that you can trade consistently. So why is gambling even something that you consider doing? Because it's just, even if it plays out, it's not scalable, therefore it's irrelevant. Like even if you make money, like even if you full port and you make a whole lot of money, like it's not scalable. It's not something that you guys will actually be able to use to get its cope. It's not going to be able to get you where you want to go if you want to have like a really good lifestyle from trading. Even if you like I'll give you there's a guy, you can go through my testimonial highlights. I believe it's my first one. He made $50,000 in a day trading my strategy, but he full ported 5 XFAs and made 10K on each. He just full ported all the accounts and he made 50K. He only ended up making like 7K in payouts because he just didn't know how to trade, and he just was like full porting, doing crazy shit and taking all these massive losses. But like, he could have just stuck to that process for a while on those 5 accounts and just dialed everything in, and he would have probably had a business that he maybe wouldn't have made 50K. But across 5 accounts, he could have very easily been making like a full-time wage or even like a decent amount of money every month and just like cash flow by now. And it's like, would you guys rather make 50K once or 5K every month? Forever. Or like whatever. I'm not saying you guys are going to guarantee get a certain amount of return, but you guys get my point, right? So you guys want to have a business that you can make money from forever. You want to have something that you can have forever, not like a weird thing, like this weird, like gambled thing. You want to have like a business that you can print from forever, and because that's how you actually get that lifestyle that you guys want. But people don't talk about this. I appreciate that. I think what you're saying here, you like with the huge thanks thing. It's like I'm just like not a guru, but people kind of like started to think that I am or something. I'm like not a guru. I'm just a trader. Like I actually in the trenches doing it. So like I just share my experiences of what I think trading should be about and my general experiences and what I think. Like it's not like I'm like trying to give you like all the answers. I'm kind of also just trying to give you my answers that have been synthesized from 5 years of experience. That's really it. I'm just trying to give you my experiences and like give you guys what I'm doing, and like if that works for you, that works for you. And there's people getting great results and people changing their mindset towards trading and then starting to see a lot of success. But if it doesn't, work for you, then it doesn't work for you. But I'm not trying to present that I have all of the answers. So,
Do you know what it is, bro? People can hear the authenticity in your voice. You know what I mean? You can tell that you've got genuine intentions, which is a rarity these days. So I see what Karen's trying to say.
Yeah, I just think it's like I've been doing it for so long, and like this has been my whole life for so long that it's kind of like impossible for me to not be. That's the problem. Is like you guys see this. Like there's so many people in the space who like they have no. There's no real like history of them trading. Like they just like pop up with a Lambo, and you're like, who the fuck is this guy? You're like, who's this guy? I'm like, I always say that, and that's the problem. Is like, and I have nice stuff. Like, I'm sitting here talking to you guys with like a really nice watch on, but like, none of this like Lambo watches, vacations. It just has nothing to do with trading. Like, this is not relevant. It's like you wouldn't go to a painter or a real estate agent if they had a Lambo. So why does a Lambo? And I get why it does, but like the life people want it. But like, I don't get why. Like, I wouldn't if I was like if I was looking to scale a business or looking to get help with a business, I wouldn't go to someone who has crazy shit. I would go to someone who's like really about that niche, whatever it is. Like if I wanted to, it's like right now, like if I really wanted to scale out my trading content, I wouldn't go to someone who has a Lamborghini. I would go to someone who they can show me case studies. They can show me they've been in the trenches, scaling people's brands. I would want to see all of the evidence that they say that. I would want to like talk to them and get a feel for them, and then like be able to tell just from the conversation if they're authentic. Well, not even authentic, if they're just legitimate, like if they've just actually been doing this. So but there's not enough of that in this place.
Are you planning on trading tomorrow? Would you consider live trading?
I think I'm live trading with I have a couple mentees. I think I'm live trading with them tomorrow, but I probably will never do the whole live trading thing. Like I had a paid Discord that had it, and just like no one signed up. I'll just be real, I didn't have that many followers. Even now I don't, but like I just didn't, and no one signed up. And then I honestly thought more and more about it. I was like, I don't even want to live trade. I can do some spot live trading. Like I just don't want to make it like it's like a consistent thing, because all that people use their live trading for is to copy trade. They don't want to learn. Very rarely they want to learn. They just want to copy trade. Like people want to be like, oh shit, I want to catch this 10-hour trade with Hamish.
Yeah, true. I would like to just see what's happening inside the mind.
Yeah, I might do like I think that what we'll do, and that could be an idea. I might do it instead of 3 Q&As, because 3 Q&As is a lot. I might do like a live session every week. Like do one live session and just like come trade with you guys and like we can all talk and chat shit and stuff. And just like you guys could also, because I know the mentees who I mentor, I know those guys who have gone through it and they do the live call, like whenever we do the live trading, they're like, oh, I get so much out of this because I'm talking about it in real time. Like I'm talking about what I'm thinking. Like even, I'm not sure if you guys saw this on my post, on my page rather, like the trade recap, like the live trading recap, that was with mentees. So like, and they were like, oh, like I get this a lot more. I understand what you're waiting for, and also like it builds patience in you guys because a lot of people aren't patient. I'm like, for example, on that day we sat for 2.5 hours before I even pressed buy or sell. You know, and then I got stopped out at break even, and then I walked away and I locked my accounts and didn't do anything. You know, like that's patience, and a lot of people learn that rubs off on people when they see someone else being successful and they can actually in the space, like see someone else trading well. And they can see, oh, this works if you just like fucking chill the fuck out. You know, like just stop trying to rush. Stop trying to force it and just actually relax. And when they see that, they get better at trading. How do you kill time? Bro, I sit here and vape and drink water and like over caffeinate. It's literally it. I listen to a lot of music. Like I listen to a lot of classical music and I listen to a lot of random music. And I just will like hang out and just listen to music and just chill. And then I'll just also walk away. Like I'm pretty good with just like going like if it's the market's not showing me anything what I want, I just will just like close my accounts out and just not trade. So yeah.
Yeah, nice man. You'll have to let us know if you fancy doing the live thing because, like you say, I think me personally, I would just like to hear what's going on inside your mind when you're looking for what you're looking for. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100%. I think that could really benefit a whole lot of people. Like, I think maybe I'll start doing, because we don't really need 3 Q&As a fucking week. You guys don't have that many fucking questions for me. Sorry, I'm just going to go through some questions. Do I do crazy trades? Yes. Crazy trades on evals, I do them all the time because I just want to get it past. I don't give a shit. You shouldn't either. It's just a different scale. Like, you know, with you guys it might be 1 account. For me it might be 5. But like it's the same shit. These accounts don't matter. It's just money. Like I know that sounds bad, but it is just $50. Or for me, $250 if I'm linking it. It is just $50. To be real, you guys probably spend that on dinner. You know, and if you're trying to make money, it's not being crazy like YOLO. It's like I always trade with some basis in my system, but like I remember I passed all my accounts, the set of 5 here that I'm trading. Like I passed this whole set of account on the 15-second and 5-second chart. I had 2 wins and 2 break evens in 2 days, and I passed them all in 2 days. Passed the whole set. And I was risking $500 per trade. So, and you guys can go through and like watch the recaps. They're all on my page. Which is very aggressive. So I just want to get them done. I just want to start making money. It's like you know, since then I've taken this will be my 4th payout. I made just on those accounts I've made over 20 grand now. I think. Yeah, no, like 20 grand. So I made 20 grand from a $1,000 investment since November. So it's like, if you're good at trading, you don't need to worry about the fees. The fees don't matter. But I always say, it's like, until you're at that point, don't do that. You can be YOLO. Like, I think people should be fairly YOLO, but the moment you get on those XFAs, you want to be like, ultimate discipline, no fucking around, because that's what I said earlier. These accounts are assets to most people. They're assets. You should view them that way. When you have that XFA on your dashboard, you should be like, this is an asset. I have more leverage now. And most people aren't in the position where they can fuck around with that kind of stuff, and they shouldn't disrespect it as much as they do. They should be like looking at it more from like, yeah, this is actually like a out. This is actually like the brick by brick. I'm laying all this foundation to actually change my situation in my life. Not looking at it from like I can make $2,000, because $2,000's not trying to be a dick to a lot of people. $2,000, I respect money enough to be like $2,000's still a lot of money, but $2,000 is not a lot of money in the grand scheme of life and in the grand scheme of everything. So I was like, why are you worrying about getting a payout? Why are you worrying about rushing the process? Why are you worrying about trying to just fucking gamble your way to these silly menial payouts when you should be sticking to the process, dialing everything in, and then using these accounts to leverage up and getting a whole lot more accounts, and then just actually sticking to a process over a long period of time, and then that will yield the result you want of like changing your position or changing your financial situation rather than leaving it up to luck. You know, because if you do get there from luck, I'll tell you from my example, That 2 million I made was luck. And it didn't change my life. It changed my life for a time, but it didn't change my life forever. But like I tell you guys right now, when I get to where I want to be from trading, from the process I have now, that will change my life forever. Like meaningfully. Like I'll be able to do more stuff and have more lifestyle changes and all that. Because it's from a process. It's from something I can scale. It's from something that I've learned how to do and I'm good at. And if you guys take that same thing and apply it to yourselves, you guys could have that same experience of being like, oh, I'm good now. I can actually like quit my job, or I can go full-time trading, or I can go travel, or I can do whatever I want. But like you guys can't do that unless you make a fuckload of money from gambling these accounts and doing crazy shit, which isn't even really possible nowadays because they restrict your payouts. So if you know that, then why are you even trying to do that? The only thing you should be focused on is the process, you know, and taking it easy. And just be like, okay losing, okay taking break-evens, being patient, actually trading your system, not doing crazy shit on the accounts and just staying locked in. Because that's what's going to get you there. If you do those things, that's what will get you to that lifestyle that you guys all want. A lot of people want. Yeah, I trade for my personal. Every single payout I've taken on my page, apart from about $10,000, has been put into a personal account. So I trade it all linked. I trade $900 of risk on my personal account right now. My personal account's pretty big. Because I've taken quite a lot of payouts in the last year and a half, 2 years. If you're going to ask me what I do for money, I buy and sell watches. Buy and sell watches. What I do for day-to-day money, for like my lifestyle, and my wife makes good money. I don't. I just trade futures. Only futures. Everyone always asks me that question. They're like, "Oh, if you don't live off trading, what do you live off?" And I'm like, "Yeah, bro, the watches." So I was just like, every single time I bring that up, where I'm like, I don't live off trading. I just do it, and I just use it to stack cash until I get to the business to the point where I feel comfortable to start taking a whole lot of profit. People always ask that question. It's the only reason I ask and answer it. Sorry. I'm just trying to trade. I'm just going to try to go read up if there's any other questions I missed. Trailing your stop loss from break even. I'll go over the stop loss to break even. Okay. So all I do, we'll take this as an example of what we went on earlier. All I do is go, it doesn't always have to be break even at 1R. It just has to be off structure. So like for example, in this trade, this is 1R, but it's also this order block down here. So this is really good. So this little, aggressive move, like this is a very high chance of bouncing. You can see it bounced a little bit. Once we hit it, bounced a little bit, but we didn't get stopped out. So that's good. And that's why we stop. That's why we do that, because if structure is going to hold and we're going to get cooked, we do not want to be in a counter trend trade or just in a trade in general if we're going to get hit into localized structure and it's just going to continue in the direction. So this hedges our risk. Not hedges, but like it protects our capital. Rather, my brain's not working. Sorry. This just protects our capital. All I do from here is just watch structure. So the moment I start to see the market falling over, all I'm doing is trailing like at protected highs. So in this trade, it would be like protected high. I'd be like, okay, this is a predicted high. Okay, down here is like a predicted high potentially. Or I will just go and look and like zoom out a bit, and be like, okay, well, where is the actual market going and what's actually happening? Because sometimes instead of going protected highs, and I'll just be real, I will look at the market and try and scale in, because you guys know how I scale in. I'll watch and try and scale in on pullback. So like instead of here, like I don't think I would start to trail here. I'm just using this as an example. But I would go and go like, I see the market start to develop a trend. All I want to do is scale into this position because it's actually working. That's why I keep my risks small. I protect myself before the market's fully confirmed. Once we're fully confirmed, I'm scaling in because in my brain, I'm like, this trade is working. I want to push the envelope on this working trade. Because I had this conversation in the accountability bootcamp on Friday. This is the reason why I risk small is because it doesn't make any sense, in my opinion, to risk a lot. Because if you're in this trade, you can risk less and be wrong. If I'm right, I can just scale in, and then I get the same amount of risk to reward. Pretty much, more or less. I get a lot more of the risk to reward, but I don't have to carry the risk before I know I'm right. If I don't know I'm right on the trade, then I don't carry any risk. I just put myself exposed to the market enough to get in, and then once I have a confirmation, I can get in with more contracts, and I can start to manage this trade and actually like trail it, through structure while adding to the position, and then I don't get cooked. I don't lose a lot. Like I don't lose a lot. Like I don't lose $200 or $300 here. I lose $100, and then if I'm right, I can make a whole lot more. If I'm correct, I can make like this trade's probably like I don't know, like 5 to 10R, like depending on scaling. So it's like I don't. And then let's say that you went in with like 200 here. It's like okay, well that's if you went in 200 and didn't scale it. Like this trade is. So let's say you just straight up took it. Like this trade's 5R. So it's like, okay, would you guys rather wait to know what's happening based off structure, or would you rather take to wait, like risk less, wait to see what happens, or just risk a whole lot, and then like you can just be wrong. Like you could just be wrong up here, and you don't even like, I always look at it like you can just be wrong without having any idea, but then once you actually know, you can just scale in, and then you're getting the same amount of risk to reward. If you're correct on your trade idea, you're getting the same amount of risk to reward, but you're just not getting in with all your risk here. So it means that this number will stay flatter for longer. Like you won't be going down an equity curve. You won't be stressing out about trading. You won't be worried. Like you'll be like, cool, I just risk $100. Like it's fine. Like it's like cool. Like I can't lose this account now. Like I realistically cannot lose this account. All I have to do is show up and trade, and like I'll make money. I'll get payouts. Like that's literally where I'm at, and that's where you guys could be at. Whereas like you just show up and trade. Like I'm not stressing. I'm not like gotta get a payout. I'm just like I have low risk here. Once the trend is confirmed, I add trend. I add contract. That's it. I just find like ways to read the market through my strategy, right? Like order blocks and stuff. So like for example here, I might go, okay, cool. Like once I see this confirmation where we've had this new order block that's broken structure through here, and then it comes up, taps in, and then gives us more rejection, I'd be like, fuck it, let's add some contracts into here, let's bring our stop loss down to here and add it, and then add as we go, and then we just trail. That's it. I just don't get why people don't do this. I understand it's difficult, but if people could actually give me a proper argument to say that like it's better to go on with upfront risk here rather than just go like lower risk here and then scale into the move if you're correct on the trend, I don't really get why you wouldn't do that. Does that make sense to you guys? Is that like something that you guys can make sense of as to why the reasoning behind why I do that, and the reasoning as to why it's good? Would I ever dollar cost into a loser? No. Yeah, never. Just take a loss. It's 1R. Who cares? Who gives a fuck? Just take the L. It's what I was saying earlier in the conversation. I'll use the same thing again so you guys can see it. If you guys know that this is what your trade calendar can look like, where he's like, this is $100 loss, but I can make $2,500. I can make 25R from this strategy. Like, I don't care about losing, bro. Like, I just don't. Because I'm like, look, I had 6 losses in a row. This week I had 6 losses in a row. I still made 9R. I one trade paid for 6 losses. Why the fuck would I care about losing? The problem is most people trade strategies that don't have enough upside to actually be detached from losses. You guys are attached to your losses because you don't make enough money from when you win. And that's why this strategy for me is really good. The reason why it's good for me is because I'm like, I don't care about losing because I know when my winners show up, like for example here, like, okay, cool. One loss, $113. One loss, $139. Boom, fucking $2,500. You know, the next trade 2,000, 21R, 25R, 2 losses. I'll take 40. I'll take 46, 40, 44R in 4 days, and my win rate's 50%. I'll take it to the bank. It's like so long ago, bro. That's in like fucking. This is from earlier in the year. Last year, it was in like January. I just don't use this anymore. I just use it as an example because people can really see, like, the system playing out over months and months. And I haven't had my accounts long enough right now on Top Step for it to like you guys be able to see like the full system playing out like over a long period of time. You know. But most of those big winners basically just look like something like they just look like something like today. Like today's a really good example of what a big winner would look like to me, right? If you just like came into the day and you were just like, we vibing to our, you know, like we're with the trend. Maybe there's like an OB down here, and you just take this long, and then you just go stop loss or break even at 1 hour, and you're just trailing structure the entire day while scaling into this position. This is probably like a 40-hour trade. Because look at it. You just get in here and you just trail these protected lows the entire time, and you never get taken out, and it just keeps going up, and you keep scaling in, and by the time you're up here, you're in like 50 micros, and you've got trails in profit where you're like, if it comes down and takes you out, you still get like 10 but then it just keeps ripping, and then you just keep trailing. That's really it. That's what a trade like would take. On the trending days, when you get into the pivot, like down here, that's what a winning day would look like. But the problem is you can't make 40R without scaling in. You can't, realistically. Like, you know, you have to be scaling in. You have to be trailing. It's hard. It's difficult. Don't get me wrong. I talk about it very, very casually. It's not easy. Like if you go to my personal Instagram, not my work one, you guys can go and look at the last 2 years of my trading before I ever made content. Never had posted a reel. Never posted anything. I was just talking about my trading on my stories. And there was the day on Copper where I made 44R. Which was in November last year. It's like my first $10,000 day with Top Step. I risked $500 to make 10,000. What was it? Yeah, it was like 20 grand or something. I don't remember exactly what it was. That was my first 20 grand day. Yeah, was it? Yeah, it's somewhere on there. But it's a lot. You can go look at it. And like, I was shitting my pants, bro. I was outside in my fucking tank top in the middle of summer, in the middle of winter, smashing my vape, like, just fucking pacing. I was stressing. Being up that much amount of money and that much risk reward is fucking crazy. When you're scaling into these winners and stuff, it's hectic. It's not easy. I talk about it like it's easy. It's not. Especially when the trade's actually running. Because you're stressing. You're like, fuck, I'm up so much. And your compulsion to want to sell is so high. Like if you're up 10R on a trade, like let's say you guys put $100 into a trade on your Top Step account, and like you made $1,000. Your compulsion to sell that trade is like 100%. Like your brain is telling you like so badly to sell that, to realize that profit instead of just being like, oh no, we're with the trend. Let it breathe. Let it breathe. And it's not greed. No, I just trade with structure. Just structure. Or you never go off points. All of these things don't matter. Points don't matter. All this stuff. The only thing that matters is structure. You guys are trying to overcomplicate something. The structure is what matters. The actual price action is what matters. You guys use the indicators, point systems, X, Y, Z. It's like what matters. The only thing. Payouts don't matter. Money doesn't matter. None of this matters. The only thing that matters is what's on the fucking screen. Is the actual price action. What is actually happening. How you approach the market. However you contextualize the market. Whether it be my strategy, whether it be ICT, whether it be XYZ, whatever it is. The only thing that really matters is what is on your screen. This doesn't matter. My equity doesn't matter. This win doesn't matter. My accounts don't matter. None of it matters. What matters is what's actually happening on the charts. That's what. And you need to start. So don't try to go, okay, well, 10 points. What is 10 points? Like, what is that relevant in the actual grand scheme of the price action? Like, 10 points is just an abstract number that you are presenting to try and make it easy. It's like, it's not easy. Just accept that it's not going to be easy. Watch structure. let structure play out, and chill. Just get better. I always say, like, the problem, and this is the problem, is that people don't want to get good at trading. They don't want to go, hey, I actually have to fucking dial in, bro. Like, I actually have to not try and make this easy. Actually lean into the fact that this is difficult and get good. Like, actually understand my strategy, or whatever I trade, not mine, but I mean your strategy, my strategy, whoever's strategy. Actually understand it with, like, a lot of nuance and a lot of, like, time. Like, with a lot of, like, you actually need to understand it. Because that's how you become a good trader. When you actually understand your strategy. You've been doing it for a while. Not trying to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to trail 10 points. Because, like, what is 10 points like? I mean, this could be 10 points here, you know. If I trail here, it's like 10, like, it's just like the 10 points is just like a random number. So you want to go off what's actually happening on the screen, not like a random number, you know. Because I'm like, I could be like, cool, but there's like a big water block down here, you know, for example. I don't know. Like, it's like something down here, you know, pretend that there's something here. And I was like, well, why would I trail 10 points if there's something that could potentially continue to rally us? You know? Like, I'll just trail it under the structure that's supporting this move. And then if I'm wrong from there, then I'm wrong from there. But it's better to be wrong for an actual reason than wrong for, like, some cope trying to make trading easier. Yeah. I do think that, though. I think a lot of people just try to make trading a little bit too easy. I think people really do just try to, like, they add all these, like, random things to kind of, like, make it easy when it's just not. Like, it's not supposed to be. You're pressing buy and sell to make fuckloads of money. Like, you are literally pressing buy and sell. It can be simple, but it's not easy. My strategy is quite simple, but it isn't easy. Simple and easy, that those have no correlation. There's heaps of things that are very simple. It's very simple to lose weight. How many people do you actually see lose weight? Realistically, very few. It's very simple to get jacked. How many people do you actually see who have really cool transformations? It's very simple to get good at trading, but it's very hard. Most of the hard is from discipline. Most of the hard is from wanting to take short routes. Most of the hard is from people just doing stupid shit, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah, like, it's simple for me now because, like, once you, there'll be a point where it does become, like, it's not easy to trade for me, but it's kind of like I just don't care. I just show up. You know what you're looking for. If you guys did it, I guarantee you guys would be probably better trade. I don't even think I'm that good at trader, to be honest. I just think I'm very fucking, like, disciplined, and, like, I think that I'm very, like, I will walk. You guys, everyone does the same stuff, and I see the same things over and over and again. It's just everyone does the same things that's stopping them, which is, like, not being able to walk away, over risking, trying to do crazy shit, trying to rush the process. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, is I did learn from the losses. I did, like, I've been through the trenches pretty aggressive. That's why I have no hair now, bro. I had hair 3 years ago when I started trading. Now I'm fucking bald as shit. Stress, bro. Gotta be in the trenches. But yeah, that's how I trail. So, to answer your question, is through structure, and the first part, it should help you out a lot. And I do think a lot of you guys should start testing your strategies with, do the scaling in. You don't have to do it off the rip, but, like, when you finish your trade for the day, go through your trade and be like, how would I manage this if I scaled in? Would have I made more with less risk? If the answer becomes, oh shit, this is just the thing to do, consider switching over. And I think you guys will see a lot better performance in terms of back-end KPIs, metrics, like actual trading. Your risk reward will go up. Your average loss will go down. Your average win will obviously go up. Your win rate will probably stay the same because you're taking the same positions. And everything will be better. Your profit factor will be better. Everything will be better, which is what you're looking for, because then once you have that process with a fuckload of capital, you make way more money. But just test it. You don't have to do it off the rip. You don't have to fucking implement the shit I say off the rip. Just test. It's like, that's trading. You got to test. Do you think someone would be able to capture the whole move? You're not looking to. Like, when I go into these trades, and I said this on Friday, if I was in longs, I'm not looking to catch all this. I'm allowing the market to do what it wants to do, trailing key structure. If the market wants to keep ripping, I'm going to let it do that. I'm not going to be a pussy. I'm not going to sell for no reason. I'm not going to be scared. I'm going to put my market at key structural areas that I view, if the market invalidates this, we're out. I will still make money on those trades. It might be less, significantly less than a big move like this, but I will still make money. I don't shoot for a 20-hour trade, but I allow for a 20-hour trade, or a 40-hour trade, or a 50-hour trade, 100-hour, 150-hour. I don't care what it is. It could be fucking 1,000-hour trade. I don't care. If the market does that, if I catch some black swan event and I'm in shorts and it fucking dips fucking 2,000 points and I'm in a position, I'm going to trail that shit. And I'm just going to let it keep running. Like, I'm not going to sit there and try and over-manage. I'm going to go, this is what I believe is happening. I can still make the trail good. If I'm in a trail, cool. I'm still making 2-3 hour from this trade. I'm still making 1 hour from this trade. I'm still making some money from this trade. But I'm going to allow the market to do what I think it's going to do. I'm going to allow the market to actually breathe. I'm just going to stop trying to overmanage. I'm going to let that trade continue. And then if I see areas where there's good scaling opportunities, I scale in and I just let it breathe. Because those trades then become massive and I just don't. I do a lot of what the opposite of what most people do, where they like move their stop loss. They move their stop loss when they're in losers. They scale into, they dollar cost into losers. Why don't you just do the opposite? Why don't you move your take profit and scale into winners and just have really, really fucking tight take profit? How many of you guys take profit before you should take profit? How many of you guys take profit really early the moment you see decent green? Probably all of you. Imagine if you just you just sold your positions very quickly if they are losers, and then did the opposite and scaled into winners and moved your stop loss or your take profit as the trade develops. Think about if you invest all the times you've done that, you probably have fucking huge winners on your mind. You'd be like, I blew my account. I just keep dollar costing it. If you do the opposite, you'll have massive days and small losers. You know? Like if you just straight up do the opposite of what a lot of people are doing, which is dollar costing into losers and they're not letting their winners run. If you don't dollar cost into your losers and you just take the loss, and then when you're in a winner, you dollar cost into it, so scale into it, you'd have the same outcome. Or you have the opposite outcome where instead of having big losers, you would have massive winners and tiny losses. You would just basically inverse the entire thing. And if you can do that, if you do that, your trading dashboard will look like this. That's what it will look like. That is literally what I just explained to you is on the other side of what I just explained to you. This is being able to make 37R on the month, 92R on the month, 51R on the month, 42R on the month. Okay, this is bad, but this is just a bad 3R on the month. You know? But like still, I mean, you can see I still lose, right, guys? Like I lose a lot. Like this is almost 50% of the days on the month there are losses, but I still made fucking 51R. Still have losing streaks, 6 max losses, almost 7 losses in a row. That's in the row. You know, it still happens. But the thing is that if I harden myself on what I just spoke to you guys, it becomes a lot more simple to trade. But the problem is that what I'm talking to you guys is exactly against what human brains want you to do. Your human brain does not want you to do that. Your brain is telling you, everything is telling you to do the opposite of that. Because it wants to avoid being in pain. You realizing losses really quickly is painful. It's really painful, right? When you take a loss, it's painful, but like, you know, and like that little green at the top of your screen when you have that decent winner, it's like one 2 hour or whatever. Yeah, your brain always says it'll flip, but it's like, if you just accept the loss quickly and move on, it's like, you know, you don't need to wait for it to flip. It's what I was saying to you guys earlier, right? Where it's like, don't hope in trading ever. Go in with risk, accept the risk, and then when you're actually correct, hope then. Hope when you're right. Hope when you're being confirmed correct. Once things are confirmed correct, you can hope then. But don't hope when you're losing. Just take the loss quickly, move on. It's hard though. Like I talk about this very abstractly. I talk about this very like it's so easy to do. It's not easy, guys. Like, I'm not sitting here being like it's so fucking easy. You guys are idiots. Like I'm not thinking that it's hard. I'm just saying that like this is a thing that if you can get past it and you can move through that and start to really like rewire the way that your brain works and start to focus more on that, like you can become really good traders. I just have the PDF right now. I'm working on that. My life's a bit of a shit show right now. I'm going through some stuff in real life with my just personal stuff. So I'm like just not focused. I'm just trying to fucking manage everything right now. So I'm supposed to be doing long form, but I've just been, yeah. I'll get around. But honestly, there's people who've taken the guide. Ben, I don't know if Ben, but Gilbert Die Reasonably, he last month made like $25,000 with the strategy, risking $100 on 5 accounts. So he made like 50R. He had a 50R month. So, and that's just from the guide. I've never mentored him or anything. For sure. I'm actually going to head off now. Is there any last questions or anything? I'll post this on YouTube. But is there any questions quickly? I can go over stuff. Any questions? Got 8 minutes left before I probably will let you eat. Is there any like final things you guys want me to talk about really quickly and go over? Yeah. Cool. Yeah, awesome, guys. Hope you guys all had good days. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Talk soon, guys.
We're good night, bro. Thank you.
Sweet ass, guys.